Monday night, the USC students joined together for their annual Conquest Spirit Rally in anticipation of this big rivalry game. Trying to end UCLA's 3-game winning streak head-to-head. Among those in attendance at the Coliseum, the former Trojan great Willie McGinnis, who went on to star in the NFL, most notably with the New England Patriots.
Great pro. Great pro.
12-point lead. They'd like to take more time off the clock than they did in their last possession. They had it for barely over a minute. Here's Justin Davis. He got rocked and then bounced off the hit and went to the 48. Aaron Wallace finally got him down. Randall Goforth delivered a big hit, but didn't knock him down. It's a 16-yard gain.
Well, he sets it up by going up inside first, then cutting outside on a great jump cut. Randall Goforth has a chance to make a play, but he's going for the big hit as opposed for this sure tackle. Justin Davis coming off a career high 141 versus Utah last week, running with passion.
With 12.5 minutes to go, Justin Davis, a nice hole off the left side. He's ahead for 9 more. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Back to you guys.
I love the fact they're taking their time, Sean. Run that clock. You're starting to establish the ground game. Championships, or the chance to play in championships, are won on the ground in the fourth quarter.
Khalil Rogers injured a couple of times, taken to the locker room. He's back in at center. And it's a first down for Justin Davis. We mentioned earlier he's the third-string center. He's been playing the last couple of weeks with both shoulders popping in and out.
First down.
That's been one of the reasons why he's had trouble with shotgun snaps. The other reason is he really wasn't a center. It became one out of necessity, and he has spent extra hours after practice, hundreds of extra snaps trying to get the shotgun snap thing down.
He's done a good job today. He's been pretty solid for most of the day. I'll tell you another guy that's played really well, especially run blocking, has been Damian Mama, especially pulling, opening up those holes, creating lanes.
The ruling of runner down is under further review.
Ball was out because, how did they fix whether he was down or not? The play, they're going to let him pick up here and keep going? So he still has the ball in his arm there.
Down. Move on. He's down. Let's go. Take the form. Wrist.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, USC.
We spoke with Cody Kessler yesterday. He thought long and hard about becoming a pro at the end of last year, his junior year, when he had a remarkable season. Last year he threw 39 touchdown passes and only 5 interceptions. Here's Justin Davis weaving through the traffic again. Leg tackled by Jali Wadu at the 32-yard line. Cody said even though this season hasn't gone as he hoped, they had the turmoil with the dismissal of Steve Sarkisian, he has no regrets. He said, if anything, I've learned to be a better leader under the circumstances, trying to help keep the team together when it could have fallen apart after the coaching change 5 games in.
He's done a great job. He's been under that situation twice, as you mentioned, so he can handle adversity.
2 years ago, Ed Orgeron was the interim coach. And they made the decision not to give it to him going forward. He departed. And Clay Helton coached them to a win in the bowl game in Las Vegas against Fresno State. No one seems to know. You ask a lot of people around the USC football program, what do you think is going to happen? And no one really knows. Pat Hayden will have that decision, the athletic director. He's been very tight-lipped, almost underground, after what's been a very tumultuous stretch for him.
I think he's done a tremendous job under the circumstances with the injuries that Clay Helton has dealt with as a head football coach, making things happen, getting the right play on a third down, calling timeout.
Cody Kessler said the thing that's been so impressive is he hasn't changed at all. Even though he stepped into the big chair, he's the same person that he was as the coordinator. Josh Rosen's streak, second longest in conference history without an interception. Justin Davis, his 6th straight carry to start this possession, and a first down. They convert on 3rd down and 2, and they will have taken nearly 4 minutes off the clock by the time they snap it next.
Unsung hero Mama, Damian Mama, 51, has been doing this all day, clearing a space for Justin Davis or whoever the tailback is, just enough to get through there. Also an excellent crackback block, staying high on the inside defender for UCLA, creating that open space. But he's played well, Sean. He struggled at times, but today he threw a new hitter there. But all day he's been playing well, knocking guys out of the boxes, clearing ways.
He's a big mama.
Yes, he is.
355 pounds. Ronald Jones. And it's amazing, Chris, when you make the commitment to run and be physical. When we see that around the country, not only at this level of football, but the NFL as well, it seems the offensive line play improves. You're empowering them to be tougher and more physical.
Yeah, and don't forget that so many teams are used to defending spread offenses. So when you have pulling guards, then gap responsibility changes, because one gap moves from the left side of the line to the right side of the line. And a lot of times, if you're not used to defending that creates confusion.
And you get your running backs in a rhythm, too. The first 6 games, 88 carries for those 2 backs we've been talking about, Davis and Jones. The last 5 games, 158.
And they're both excelling. Great job by Justin Davis to stay on his feet, weave through the traffic, and pick up another first down. And this is a textbook ball-controlled drive by a team with a 12-point lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, you almost feel like they're taking the will of the Bruin defense right now. And I've been on that side where I've had the ball shoved down my throat. And you're trying your best, but there's nothing that you can do to stop the momentum of an offensive line and how hard the backs are running with purpose and intent.
8 plays in all on this drive for the Trojans. All of them runs. They've eaten up 5 minutes. They've rushed for 189 yards in the game. They snap it at 1. Justin Davis. They're going to mark him down at the 11. His forward progress was stopped, even though he lunged down to the 9.
But even that little lunge, that's telling me they want it bad. And they wanted a little bit more than the Bruins, because they are finishing plays.
They haven't beaten UCLA, these 4th-year seniors. This is the last chance. And they want desperately to win this for Clay Helton. They know, as Cody Kessler said yesterday, we want Coach Helton to be the coach going forward, and we think he deserves it. But we know ultimately we're the ones who have to do the job and win for him.
Well, and so far, with 7:10 to go, they're doing that.
Justin Davis spins ahead. 7-yard line. DeCarst McKinley made the tackle.
How many times have we seen that? Again, I always talk about a stat that nobody talks about, hidden yards. And saving yardage right there and putting yourself in a pass-run 3rd down situation, as opposed to being stuck in a totally passing situation. And they've done that all day, whether it's Justin Davis, Cody Kessler, Ronald Jones, all of them, extra effort.
Davis has 9 carries on this possession for 67 yards. He remains the lone running back. Kessler to throw it for the first time, and it is caught wide open. Taylor McNamara, the transfer from Oklahoma.
Well, when you run, it's just a matter of time before you try this little beauty. Nice little play action. How about Justin Davis picking up the blitz, allowing Cody Kessler to find McNamara all alone in the end zone. Total team play by the Trojan offense. Beautiful job, Justin.
The extra point good. 4th touchdown of the year for Taylor McNamara. And what a drive. 11 plays, 68 yards, nearly 7 minutes off the clock.
Them in a position to win and make plays.
He sends a 4-man rush after Rosen, who throws another interception. Iman Marshall again. Rosen went more than 5 games without throwing an interception. And now he's turned it over 3 times in this half with the fumble that resulted in the Trojan touchdown, and now 2 interceptions, both to Marshall.
This is a bad read by Rosen because Peyton gets behind Marshall and he tries the back shoulder. Right here, when Peyton's even, he's leaving. That ball's got to be thrown over the top, not on the back shoulder, and he makes an easy play for Imam Marshall to make the catch.
That's exactly right. For all the good things that we've seen from Rosen and all the veteran moves that he's made, that one, you've got to throw it over the top once you see a receiver establish the outside position. And nice job by Marshall taking advantage for his second pick, drops it, but is able to get down and recover the fumble.
The ruling on the field, as you heard from Steve Strimling, was an interception and then a fumble, which Marshall recovered.
Really the first poor read, and again the man pressure has been outstanding, but you got to read when that receiver is even with that defensive back, you got to throw over the top because you got to expect he's leaving that defensive back.
Back to the ball control game they go. Justin Davis again for about 7 yards. After the Florida State-Florida game on ESPN tonight, stay tuned for SportsCenter at night. A post-game recap of the Seminoles Gator game, plus a full breakdown of all the day's important college football action. SportsCenter at night, kicking off when the game ends on ESPN, also streaming live on Watch ESPN. Rough second half for Josh Rosen, Jim Mora, and the Bruins. Their 3-game winning streak against their LA rivals in serious jeopardy now. Justin Davis out to the 37. And you think back to Amon Marshall, Chris, I mean, they got torched last week up at Oregon. They gave up 48 points to the Ducks. Vernon Adams threw for 6 touchdowns. The record for an opponent against USC, and really the poster child for the struggles was Amon Marshall. But Justin Wilcox said he'd never quit. He's had a great attitude all week. He'll learn from it and bounce back, and that didn't take long. He bounced back today.
He did, and you know, like all great corners, you have a short memory. And as a corner, you are going to have bad days, and you will be beat, especially at this level and the next. How you respond is up to you.
Justin Davis over 100 yards for the game now.
How about this team? All they've been through, Sean, going to face Stanford in the Pac-12 championship. Now, I don't know if that's good enough for Clay Helton to get a head coaching job here, but it should be good enough for him to get a coaching job somewhere.
Well, this is a marquee job. There are a lot of coaches who would like to have the job. The big name swirling around lately has been Chip Kelly, ultra successful at Oregon, obviously. Not thriving right now with the Philadelphia Eagles, and that looks like a marriage that's heading in the wrong direction. So if he's looking for an escape, it certainly would be a chance to hire a coach with a proven track record who would excite the fan base here. Catherine Conti, one of the few female
False
officials
start.
in the country.
Offense number 73. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
She had the procedure call. Zach Banner guilty of the false start. Clay Helton, we mentioned 4-2 in this stint, about to be 5-2 if this score stands this year, and you add the victory against Fresno when he stepped in as the interim coach at the end of the 2013 season. He's been here for 6 years. Coached at Duke, Houston, Memphis. Tommy West was the head coach at Memphis, and Clay said he learned a lot about managing the entire game from Tommy West. He said sometimes head coaches have a defensive background, an offensive background, they lean in that direction. He said, I've really tried to make sure, and I think this is an example of it. When you have the big lead, help your defense by running down the clock and managing the game, and he's done that beautifully today.
Yeah, and the players have responded. And again, the biggest change, and it shouldn't go unnoticed because it played to their strength, that he made when he took over was they became about a 50-50 run team, and that wasn't the case under Coach Sark. And you said it, the offensive linemen responded. Every offensive lineman I know, they love the run block because it gives them a chance to be physical. But you think about it, in pass protection, all they're doing is catching and holding on. When they run block, they get to hit back.
Davis, prior to that carry, was up to 119 yards on 23 rushes. It's another first down, and this one is all over now, but the shouting. Cody Kessler ahead. These fourth-year seniors are going to get their first win in this rivalry game. As we look at the Pacific Life game summary, not huge numbers for Kessler, but he ran the offense beautifully, particularly down the stretch when they were running out the clock. Most importantly, they did not turn it over. And after he was sacked 6 times in each of the last 2 years by UCLA, only 1 sack for the Bruin defense today. Justin Davis, the closer, to the 43 near another first down. And this finish to the game, Chris, is sending a message too.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is a statement, the way they have just run out the clock and physically dominated the fourth quarter.
And I guarantee you that UCLA needs to go back to practice on defense and work on how to defend the power. They have 2 guys outside. What they have to do is have a guy come down and get the second puller or knock off the pulling guard. And that's where USC has made their money. And with the running backs, just all the running backs today have just run with such passion, man.
Well, they've had 16 runs on their last 17 snaps, and the only pass was the touchdown pass when Taylor McNamara was wide open. Justin Davis carries for another first down. Here's this week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. USC will take on number 9 Stanford. So if Stanford can win against Notre Dame today, that's really an elimination game for the playoff for one of those 2 teams, the loser. But if Stanford wins that today and then beats USC, and enough happens ahead of them, there's still the possibility, they hope, in the Pac-12 that a 2-loss Pac-12 team could get into the playoff.
Well, and you've done Stanford once, I've done them twice. They're a good football team, balanced and complete, and Kevin Hogan is playing the best football of his career, the fine quarterback from Stanford.
USC has not played. You see Clay Helton managing to the end. They have not played in the Pac-12 championship game. They went to the championship game in 2011, and USC won the South, but because of the NCAA sanctions, they were not able to play in the game. So they'll go for the first time in school history. Justin Davis ran for 100 yards in the fourth quarter alone. Jim Moore across the field to shake hands as he will suffer his first loss as UCLA head coach to the Trojans. He said famously a couple of years ago, "We own this town." Well, the ownership might be split right now. These are 2 programs that seem to be in a similar place in terms of talent level. USC, though, looking for stability, which UCLA has found since the arrival of Jim Mora. Congratulations to Clay Helton and the Trojans. An impressive victory over their rival today. They are the Pac-12 South champs. Here's Todd.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach. Huge win, obviously. When you look at all the seniors on this team, starting with your quarterback, Cody Kessler, how important was it to get a victory and to extend the season and opportunity to play for a Pac-12 championship?
Well, you imagine what those kids have gone through the last 5 years with sanctions and changing coaches. For them to be declared a Pac-12 South champion, I can't tell you how proud I am for them. They're not only great players, but great people.
How rewarding is it for you and your coaching staff to see the effort on both sides of the ball given by your players today?
I was very, very proud of Trojan football today. Great defense, run game, and terrific special teams. That's the way we play.
Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
Well, whether he gets the job or not, I think he demonstrated with how well coached that team was today. He is capable of being a head coach at this level.
And the biggest thing is that the players respond to him, especially when they were under adverse circumstances. He led them out of it.
Several of them have started a Twitter campaign, Helton 2016. Certainly helped his cause today. Final score, USC 40 and UCLA 20.